Okay, so let's see this particular question on para summary, right? So it talks about the personalization that platforms claim to offer us is dying. Okay, so kind of let's see what kind of the platform claims to offers us is dying. So some platform is offering some sort of the personalization, and the concept of that is dying, right? Platforms like Amazon, Uber, and Netflix all took something that was more or less working, bookstores, taxis, and cable, and promised us something better. Okay. So yeah, that's a they say that initially these platforms, right? So they Amazon, be it Uber or be it Netflix for that matter, right? So they claim to offer, let's say, kind of, I mean, like you can say that it all took something that was more or less working, okay, and promise us something better that will going to give you something that is better. Okay, so I mean, like I will give you some sort of the traditional services in a better manner, okay, by providing more of a personalized experiences, and that's the personalization concept that is being discussed. Now it worked for a while, thodi der chala. We still get cheap books, rides, and TVs from these sites, okay. However, the promise of platform production is personalization, okay. They know what products you might like, what shows you want to watch, and who you want to date. Okay, when the bottom comes out from that model, though, because its financing is unstable and its labor is rebelling, okay, the fancy algorithms stop mattering as much. Then the options get fewer, the costs go up, and the jobs get worse. Living with algorithms goes from being delightful to being a degraded copy of the capitalism that preceded it, right? Now, what is this particular thing is saying here? What is happening, right? Yeah. Okay. So what is overall they are saying is that the kind of we can say that the passage talks about the deterioration of the personalization feature. Okay, so they say that a lot of the platforms like Amazon, Uber, and Netflix, okay, they initially offer the features of personalization. So initially they kind of say that they will going to change the traditional services, okay, by promising something that is better, more personalized experiences. However, later on, we can say that the passage argues that this promise is fall failing, okay, generally due to the, you can say, financial model which is unstable, okay. So, because of financing is unstable and the labor is relenting. So, this promise is failing because of unstable financing models and the labor, rebellious labor or labor dissatisfaction, okay. Now, this decline also the author says that manifests in fancy algorithms, okay, becoming less relevant, okay. Then they say that the cost is going up, the options are getting fewer, okay, job quality is getting deteriorated, and the overall you can say that the living with algorithm goes from being delightful to being a degraded copy of capitalism that preceded it. So overall the user experience is declining, okay. So we can say that what was something once was a delightful interaction with these algorithms, okay, has just turned into a subpar version or a degraded copy of the pre-existing capitalist system. So this is what the passage is all about. I hope you got this passage. Now, the correct answer to this is option number 4. But before we get into it, let's actually do it with the option elimination strategy, right? So the core premise of platforms is personalization based on algorithm, but these very algorithms are not important anymore due to the lack of delight that they offer today. Now, kind of, you can say that it says that the core promise of platform is personalization, okay, and based on algorithm, but these very algorithms are not important anymore due to the lack of delight, okay. So they're saying कि algorithm में delight नहीं है, okay, then that they offer today, right? Now, passage basically say that algorithm is not an issue. Okay, he says that what the major issue is basically an unstable financing and the rebellious labor. Okay, so this summary kind of incorrectly attributes the decline in personalization to the lack of delight. Okay, so that's not the case. That is not what the passage is actually claiming. So the core promise of platform is personalization based on algorithm, but these very algorithms are not important anymore. Okay, due to the lack of delight that they offer today. So it's not that these algorithms become unimportant, okay? The main factor is the financing and the labor rebellious part. Now, platforms like Amazon, Uber, and Netflix have failed in their promise of personalization. So far, so good, okay? Because they succumb to the capitalistic framework of focusing on bottom lines. So, no doubt that the passage actually discuss about the capitalism, right? But again, can we say that the it does not specifically kind of blame the focus on a bottom lines, okay? So it does not say the focus on a bottom lines is the reason for the failure of personalization, right? The key issues that are being identified are the financial instability and labor dissatisfaction, not the focusing on a bottom line. So again, incorrect causation error in both the option number A and B, right? Now, while the promise for these platforms is personalization, these platforms fail to fulfill that promise due to, again, the fancy algorithm that have ceased to matter to the customers. Again, the same kind of the thing, okay? This option also, just like the option number one, kind of misrepresents the role of algorithm. The passage does not state that the algorithms have ceased to exist, okay? So the fancy algorithms may cease to exist over here, okay? So it says that the algorithms are becoming less relevant, right? But the customers, they no longer find them important, okay? So they have ceased to matter because it's not important, okay? वही चल रहा है. Now let's say the initial promise of personalized experiences by platforms is deteriorating, right? Due to unstable financing and labor issues leading to the decline in quality and option. Now, this encapsulates all the ideas mentioned in the passage. It actually gives the current cause and current causes, okay, that is unstable financing and labor issues, okay, resulting in the decline in the quality of the service and the options, okay. It also addresses that the root cause or the initial problem promise was that of personalization, okay, and then leading to a decline in quality and options. So accurately captures all the ideas of the passage, but the rest of the other options distort the idea in some manner or the other. That's the reason that the option 4 is the correct answer. I hope you got it.